Hi guys, right, I'm going to try and show you a way to make a lamp out of one of these beer kegs. Now, these beer kegs, pick them up from pretty much any supermarket. I paid £16 for this, obviously that was full of beer. And to be fair, the beer tasted foul. Old Speckled Hen's normally nice in the bottle, but when it comes from a tin, I just don't like it whatsoever. As you'll see, it's advertising on both sides here. Now I've already pulled out the tap from the bottom and I've pulled the breather bung out from the top here. Now you'll see there's a little piece of string going through here. This is for a later time to aid in pulling the wire through from the light fitting. Now the American way, I'm not particularly happy with. You'll see on the internet the Americans simply pass a bit of bell wire through and then they glue one of these into that hole. And to be fair, it's absolutely ludicrous. And it's not secure whatsoever. So the way I've came up is to take one IKEA light fitting. It's in pieces at the moment. I've already taken it to pieces. Basically, the hollow tube screwed into the base here. The base comes in handy at a later time for marking up the base. That is the rod that I'll be passing through. And I found that a 1/8 BSP, British Standard Pipe hydraulic fitting, is the perfect thread to go into the tube here. Now obviously this tube came with the top fitting here, which simply screws on. So once it's all done properly, I'll be passing this rod through the hole there and basically drilling a hole in the base and screwing it into place using this. Then the rubber bung being here will slide over the top like that, and that then will relocate into the hole and make a really secure fitting. It will not come out. A damn sight better than the American way, that's for sure. So the idea would be that the rod would go into the top here, the bung would hold it in place, and obviously in the base I would then screw the 1/8 BSP fitting. Now the 1/8 BSP fit, this one actually came as a 1/8 to 1/4, and I think it cost us about £2 to be fair. I've basically hacksawed it in half, filed it nice and flat. You see the tool marks there. It's nice and smooth, because obviously there's not a very big recess in the base of these. Like I said before, keep a hold of the base, because with the 4 legs on the bottom here, those 4 legs line up perfectly on the base of the tin, like this, and once they're lined up like that, it's sitting on there, once they're lined up you can then pass a marker pen like that through the hole in the centre here, and that will give you the mark to make sure that you drill the exact centre at the bottom of the bottom of the keg. I'll get my teeth in a moment. So basically what you'll be seeing is it will be this side here with the rod secured in place, top and bottom, the light fitting on the top, and the wire will pass through the back here. So this part here will act as the gland. Now I'll go and get my drill, and what I'll do is I'll mark up the bottom. I'll do that in another part of the video here, and I'll come back to you when I've got that ready. Right, here we are again. Now as you can see, this is the base of the lamp I've took to pieces. I've took the thread part out. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see this if I go over. You can just make out the black dot there. It's pretty poor because the lighting here is quite bad. But as you can see, all I've done is sat the legs on the top, and if you measure these off, just literally put your fingers down the side, you'll feel when it's right. And it actually gives you the exact centre of the base to put the black mark on. So when you move this, there we are, and that gives me a dead centre to drill this out, and that makes sure that obviously the metal rod that's going to go through is going to be nice and straight. Now of course the next stage here, I'm going to have to drill the base of this, and then I can fit the bolt into the bottom, and I'll have to go from there and start the wiring. So what I'll do is I'll go and get the drill, I'll drill this out and I'll come back to you, and I'll update you on the progress when I'm done there. Now then, I don't want this hole in the base to be too big for the bolt that's going in, so what I'm going to use is I'm going to use some digital verniers here. Now what I want to do is try and get a drill bit. So it's just over 9.5mm here. So I don't think I'll have a 9.5, so obviously I'm going to go with a 10mm I believe. Oh, there we are. What's this? Yeah, 9.57. So what I'll do is I'll now see what drill bits I have of roughly the same size. 9.8, that's not bad. 9.7. So I'll use this one. Now obviously what you want to do when you're drilling these holes, don't just blaze straight in with the big drill bit, because the likelihood is the thin metal on the base of these you're probably going to end up sliding. So what I would advocate is use a pilot hole first. Now like I've said, once I've done this drill job I'll come back to you and I'll show you how it's gone. There we are, as you can see I've now punched the hole through the base there with the drill. And now what I'll do is I'll feed in the goods from the top and pull the wire in through the gland, and then I'll come back to you once I've done that. Right, the next stage, take the rod, and what we'll have to do here is I'm going to grind a small section out in here to allow the wire to exit the side of the rod. Now the reason I need it to exit the side of the rod obviously is if I bolt it in from the bottom I can't then very well pass the wire through the bottom. Not only that, due to the small lip on the bottom of the barrel here. So what I intend doing is taking out the slot on the side here, passing the wire through here, and then bringing the wire through the gland on the bottom here. So I'll come back to you once I've done this section. Right, there we are. That's what I'm aiming for. Now I've filed down the edges of this so it's not sharp, obviously, because with the wire passing through, the last thing I need to do is cut through the sheathing. Anybody fancy an ice cream? But anyway, like I say, as you can see, I've ground this out now and it's nice and smooth. I can't cut my fingers on there. Look, if you push hard, there's nothing there. That's perfect, because now I need to pass the wire through. There it is there, just coming at the side there, look. So I need to now pull that through. I have to go and get some pliers. I'll pull that through, I'll feed that through, and I'll come back to you in a moment. Here we are, my trusty little mini pliers. Let's pull that through. There we are. Right. And then it's just a case of screw the head back on. Now I'm trying to be careful with this because I don't really want this to break and I don't wish to cross thread it. I think what I'll do is I'll check the threads on there, I'll see if I can clean them, and I'll come back when I've got that put on for you. Right, as you can see, top screw back on now. Wire's out through the base here. So the next step is to take the grommet I spoke of earlier. Now what I'm doing here, you'll not be able to see me just yet, I'm feeding the string through the bung here. So what I need to do now is push this bung back into place, like so. Right, that bung will act, as I've said earlier, it'll act as a support for the main stem that's going to be pushed in. Now I can't really extend the height of this camera, I don't believe. I'm going to try. Give me a moment. That's about as high as it'll go. Now, what I now need to try and do is take upon the wire here, and I need to connect this string to this wire. So I'm going to go and find some tape and I'll come back to you when I've got this done. Right, I've now got that all sorted out. So feed the wire in, just draw the string nice and slowly through, and at the same time I wish to try and feed the wire through the bung like this, and then feed the pipe and the wire through together. There we are. The two go through together, including the cable that is now in there. Now all I have to do is draw the wire out the bottom. This is going to be easier said than done. Let's see if this works. I may need to use the screwdriver to aid this. I'll be a moment. Try a couple of implements here. Right, I'm going to have to fish this through, but you get the idea. I'll pop back to you once I've got this wire out. And there we have it. The wire is now out. It just needed a little bit of fettling. There we are. That is what you're going to end up with. Now all that remains for me to do here is to fit the bolt to the bottom to secure the stem in place, then fit obviously the switch unit and wire, and then find a lampshade. So I'll come back to you once I've got the bolt nut in place, and I'll show you how that's gone. Now coming back to the base here, now I've fitted the cable, the stem. What I'll now do is I'll move on to fitting the bolt. So all I need to do now, everything's in place inside, is line up the rod with the hole in the bottom. Should be somewhere around there, I believe. There we are. And then simply there we are. That, once tightened up, will not come away, and it will give this all the support it'll need. That will not come out or break like the American ones. Right, so now all it remains to do, like I said, is refit the switch and the section of cord to this and find myself a nice lampshade. So I'll finish this off by nipping the nut up in the bottom, and I'll come back to you when I find an adequate lampshade and I've fitted the switch and the wiring, and I'll show you the progress. Thank you very much at the moment. There we are, all complete. As you'll see now, it's fully functional, nice and secure. That is not going to come out, and I'm sure you'll agree, at least I hope you'll agree, that it is a lot safer than some of the other options that seem to be posted on the internet, using just glued in light fittings and bell wire twisted together and taped over inside a metal cask, which I find is not only a fire risk but an electrocution risk. But yeah, like I say, you'll have noticed straight away I still haven't got my lampshade on, but I was looking for one which is kind of drink related, to do with the brewery perhaps, or pictures of glasses or something along the same lines, on to try and keep in theme with the lamp itself. But as you'll see, everything there it's all done, it's finished, and I'm quite happy with the project, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this project and its fruition from start to finish, and I hope it gives somebody some ideas on how to create one of these of their own in future. Thank you very much for watching.